welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the love and the support. If you haven't subscribed, please do so right now. I'm just gonna give you 2 seconds. Thank you for subscribing. Let's clap hands for our new family member. Okay guys, let me be serious. Let me be serious as the topic for the day. All right, honestly, welcome to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate the love and the support and the data that you're using. You don't watch YouTube videos for free. You need to use data or just connect to Wi-Fi. So I really appreciate the time and the support. I hope that it's gonna be worth it. I believe it's gonna be worth it. So any information that is presented, I must say that because we're talking money, so I must say that I'm not a financial advisor. I didn't study anything related to money. So the information that I'll be giving you today is from a personal experience. These are things that I've done, these are things that I've faced, and some of the issues that I resolved along the way and how I resolved it. So please do not go around and tell people, oh, Tim, I am a financial advisor. I am not at all. All right, and before I get straight to the topic of the day, please remember to like and to comment, then share the video with others as well, and tell people to please subscribe. I really appreciate that. I don't have a target for the year of how many subscribers I want to have. Maybe I will have it later this year, I don't know, but for now I do not. So please just surprise me. Just surprise me. Oh my gosh, the last time I did a video, I had hair, like I had long hair, I had the afro. Now, Miguel, it's all about short hair, and I only had 1 tattoo. Now I have 2 tattoos. I am not married. No, this is not a wedding ring. This is my infinity ring. Please don't go around and say, we know not say got married. Please do not say that. It's not true. Do not lie. Lying is not good. So let's get straight to the point, or to the topic of the day. I titled it, what we do not teach during tithe talk, right? So I said what we do not teach because I'm including myself, as I am a Christian. This is a Christian channel, so the things that I'm gonna be talking about, I hope they won't oppose what is in the Bible. I would not say they won't, because we grow, we grow in our relationship with God. We get to understand things in different ways. So maybe 10 years down the line, I'm gonna look back and like, Noxie, did you really say that? But I hope that they do not oppose the word of the Lord. All right, I am a Christian, so that's why I said what we do not teach. So I'm including myself, I'm taking responsibility. And the tithe talk is basically that talk that is given before offering at church. So I know in my church we call it a tithe or offering talk. I don't know what you call it in your church, but so yeah, I just wanted to explain those 2 words. So basically what we're talking about today is money. Money. Hey, a very important aspect of our lives. We wake up every day going to work because we want money. All right, so if we are waking up, we're going to school because of money. I believe that it's very important that we speak about this thing, like converse about this thing. I'm gonna start by telling a story, personal story about money. So I'm from Mpumalanga, and I came to Pretoria in 2013 as a student to pursue my studies in social work, right? So when I came this side, I just turned 19. I remember, because I'm a Feb baby. On the 14th, I am turning guys, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that age. I'm really surprised. But yeah, back to it. So I came to Pretoria when I just turned 19 years old. So I didn't know much about money. That's the first thing. And number two, I was really fascinated by the fact that I can have a credit card, I can have accounts, I can take a phone on contracts, and trust me, that is very fascinating. That is, it feels nice, especially when you have a credit card. You're like, nah, I can be broke. I'm never broke. Forgetting that it's not your money. Basically, they are borrowing you their money, and then when you bring it back, they put in interest. So it's not your money. But the fact you're putting here, I knew that I had a card that had money. It really fascinated me. So salespeople from the bank came to the university. They marketed their packages and what it means and how much you're gonna have a great time in Pretoria, having your own credit card, opening accounts, all of those things. So I fell for it. I don't want to lie. I fell for a credit card, for account, for contract. I did it. I won't lie to you. I'm not ready to say how many because I'm really embarrassed. Like, I'm not happy with that decision that I made in my life, but I'm grateful for the lessons that I learned. And today I'm here recording a video, just teaching someone what I've learned, and I believe that it's going to help somebody's life, especially people that young people that are going to the university, especially young adults that are just starting to work. I hope it really helps you, because financial literacy is very important. Why am I getting emotional? Okay, financial literacy is very important, and it's sad that in South Africa it is not prioritized. Like, it's not seen. I'm not saying it's not seen important, but it's not presented as something that is important. Let's put it that way. It is important, we all know that, but we are not taught, and some of us had the disadvantage of learning the hard way. So after having all this account and credit card, obviously you get to a point where you cannot afford paying, honestly, because it's a lot. You have an account maybe at this clothing store for 5,000. The other one they gave you 3,000. Your credit card has 5,000. I had 2 credit cards. So you get to spend this money on useless things. Clothes, not that clothes are useless, but now you're buying clothes for every occasion you go to. You tell, every Monday, I'm gonna wear something new, because it feels good. We cannot lie, it feels amazing. Like, if you love clothes, if you like looking nice, if you like looking, it's nice. But forgetting the consequences that comes with that specific decision of buying something on credit. So I ended up struggling to pay, and I made one of the worst mistakes by stopping to pay. I avoided calls. I blocked calls left and right. I knew, okay, if I'm called by this number that starts with 087 is from where and where. If I'm called by this number, I have Truecaller on my phone. So it told me you are being called by this clothing store and stuff like that. To a point where some of my accounts were handed over. Now we are being called by collection companies. They want money. I avoided it for some time, not for months, but for years, until last year I decided that, girl, you cannot run forever, and we are cooler. You are growing up. At some point you will want to buy your own house. You will get tired of renting. At some point you want to buy your own car. At some point you'll have kids. You grow. Like, siyakula means like we grow up, sorry. Like, siyakula as people, and you do not want to be a 50-year-old lady who's still running away, like, from account, and now an account that was owing 5,000 is owing 20,000. You don't want to get to that point. So what I did, okay, now we're starting to talk about money. Now I'm starting to teach about money. When you find yourself in debt, what do you need to do? Step number 1, Write all the accounts. This is write every debt, or brother, every debt that you have. Sportson, I owe you this amount. Rage, I owe you this amount. Don't write what you think you owe. Write what you owe. If you do not know, you can call them. They will ask for your ID number, your account number. You give it to them. They will tell you. So what I did, what I did is that I called them, the accounts that I was not sure about, because remember, now I had a credit card, maybe one of them I know there was a 5,000 and the other one was 3,000 rand. So they gave me 3,000 rand, but obviously there is interest, because now I was ignoring their calls and it was overwhelming for me. So I decided to call them to say, okay, my name is Nokolo, this is what is happening. Can I know how much I owe? And then they tell you, like they will give you that information free of charge. If you want, you can ask them to send you the statement via email as well. You need to have correct information before you start dealing with debt, like equate. Have the correct information and ask about interest, if there's any interest that is taking place and how much is it. Ask all the important questions. Then if they say, would you like to pay, you are welcome to say, can you call me tomorrow? Can you call me in a week? Can I call you? You are welcome to do that. You are not obliged to answer there and then. So once you have decided, or once you have found the information, once you have found how much you owe in everything, that's the first part. You need to budget. All right. You need to look at how much you get as a source of income, not how much they say they want to give it to you at work. How much you get, because what they say they'll give you at work is not what you get. We all know that. There's a man called SARS. There's a woman called UIF. There are those people that come and take your money before it comes to you. So what you get in your account, end of the month, whichever date you get paid, you need to budget. All right. So you tell yourself, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. And you include the accounts to say, oh, okay, for this account, I'm going to pay this amount. For this one, I'm going to pay this amount. Personally, that's not how I did it. What I did is I paid one account at a time, but arranged with the others. So I'll call, for an example, I'll call Nedbank because I had a credit card with them. I'll like, okay, this is how much I owe. I am willing to pay this amount. And then they were like, okay, do you want a debit order? And you do all the logistics or all the arrangements with them. The just information that I learned along the way is that if you offer to pay everything at once, they give you a discount. Let's just say you owe 6,000 rand, and then you're like, okay, I'm willing to pay the whole 6,000 rand next month. Then they can give you a discount. It can be 20%, can be 25%. Sometimes it's a lot. It depends. It depends, guys. It's not like, oh, Nedbank gives 25% or whatever gives this amount. No, it depends. So you can negotiate. So what I'm saying is that you can arrange to pay all your accounts at once and say, okay, this one I'm going to pay 200 and stuff. But for me, I owed a lot of money. So I couldn't just say, I'm going to focus on one account because it was going to take me very, very long. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to pay each account. I'm going to pay each account per month. So I'll say, oh, this month I'm focusing on this one. So if the amount was a lot, I'll say, oh, Nedbank, I'm going to pay you for the next 3 months, 2,000 per month. And then I know, oh, if I started that in Jan, it means that by March I'm done. And then I tell Standard Bank, okay, Standard Bank, you're allowed to start debiting on my account from this month. So make sure that you plan properly. Like with money, you need a lot of planning. All right. So that's the first thing. You need to get rid of debt. That's the first lesson that I have for you. You really need to get rid of debt. If you can, please avoid it. I know it is packaged nicely. I know it looks beautiful, but it's not. I always say to people, there is no business that was opened because they love people, except those who do community work, because we help people. But I don't know, this bank, whatever bank, and you say, oh, we started this bank because we wanted to help people. They are there to make profit. Sadly for us, but good for them. They're there to make profit. So that's the important thing. So my first lesson that we do not teach during tithe. Maybe they do in your church, but I've never heard a person saying it actually in a church environment, saying avoid debt. Avoid debt. I'm telling you now. If you have it, please do necessary arrangements to pay it off. Set goals for yourself. Do not, you know what? If you arrange dinner, if you arrange to pay an account, please don't skip it or do not stop paying, because now it's taking you a little bit behind. Yeah, do you understand? So that's my first lesson. I actually wrote it down because now I can speak, like I can speak non-stop. So I wrote down so that I can talk out order. Avoid debt, and then accounts as well. Please do not go and open an account for clothes. Don't do that. If you have it, please close it, because you are going to buy something even when you don't need it. Now it's Jan, there are sales everywhere. So you're like, but Vele, I always needed these jeans. Did you really need them? So avoid having accounts. Rather budget, rather save for something. Rather save for something, or buy. Tell yourself what's on buy. But avoid buying clothes on credit. It is unnecessary. Believe me, I'm not talking from a point of I went to school to study it. I'm talking from a point of experience. If you have it, you know how much you're struggling. Because now you are working to pay off the accounts. You don't get to enjoy your salary. And another lesson is Dabaya credit score. We don't talk about credit score during tithe talk, right? It's very important to have a credit score that is high, especially when you want to buy big items like a house, like a car. You don't need a high credit score to buy clothes. So people are like, yeah, Noxie, for me to have a high credit score, I need to have a credit. That is true. That is very, very true, because there are people that I know wanted to buy cars and other big items, and they were told that no, you don't have history of credit, so we cannot trust you with money, because they don't have credit history. So my advice in that case is that you can't please quote me correctly, please listen. You can take a credit card, because actually a credit card, it boosts your credit score faster. So you can take a credit card and then you set your limit to be very, very low. Let's just say you say, okay, nah, get a credit card. Please don't take credit card and then allow them to give you 5,000 rand. You're gonna chow that money. You're gonna misuse that money, and then you get yourself in debt again. So you can just say to them, oh, you know what, you can put in 500 rand, give me 500 rand. And then when it goes, oh, for the next 3 months, next 4 months, I'm working on using the money, paying it on time. So make sure it's not, they don't give you too much credit, because now it's going to be overwhelming for you, and then it's going to frustrate you, and it's going to make you fall into the same pits that you fell in before, or you're avoiding to fall into, So you can get a credit score, but for the purpose of growing your credit score, so that you can have credit history, especially when you want to buy a house or you want to buy a car. We know houses are very expensive. You cannot buy a house for 10 rand. Beautiful houses, they cost millions. So a bank cannot trust you with millions if they don't know, if there's no credit history, sadly. And another thing that I learned with credit score and credit card is that if you have a credit card, avoid using more than 30% of the money that they give you. Let's just say they gave you 100 rand. Avoid using more than 30 rand, because it makes you look like you are desperate. Let me phrase it like this. It makes you look like you cannot live without credit, which affects your credit score negatively. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are things that I learned along the way. So if they give you 100 rand, use maximum of 30 rand. And then you know, it doesn't make you seem like you are desperate for credit or you need credit to survive. We all know we do need it, but we don't need it per se, but it would be nice to have a little bit of more money. We cannot lie. So that's the issue of credit score. By credit score, work on it because you want to buy something big, and it takes time. But just something to boast about is that in the beginning of 2021, my credit score was on 0. Guys, when I say I was in financial pit, I mean it. Like, I was in a mess. So my credit score to a point where it was 0 on Clear Score, because you know that you check your credit score in different places. So my credit score was 0 on the 1st of Jan. And by the end of December, because I get a report every single month of my credit score, it was on 600 and something. And Clear Score, where I check my credit score, is out of 705. So if I'm on 600 and something, it means that I am in good credit, because when I calculated the percentages, it said I'm around 80%. So I'm on a good ground. I'm on a great ground when it comes to credit history. But that doesn't mean now I need to go and open accounts, because yes, they want me everywhere. Because you will see, if like when you check your credit score with Clear Score, you will see they give you offers. For me, they are crazy offers. Like they were like, yeah, Standard Bank is willing to offer you to borrow you 300,000. Like, this good, man. I'm just like, listen, sweetie, I've been there. I'm not going back. I'm fine. Thank you. And don't fall for it. Don't fall for that trap. Oh, please, bazalwane, angazi ukuthi ngi-explain kanjani. I don't know how to explain the situation. Don't let those offers draw you. Don't let those salespeople who call you, just please do not. But I will advise you to work on your credit score, especially for purposes of buying bigger items. I look cute when I'm sitting like this. Buying bigger items. And another thing that I want to talk about is the issue of budgeting. I did mention it in the beginning, but budgeting is very important. And I know we've heard this, that budgeting is very important, but implementing your budget is more important. If you get paid 100 rand, I know you're not, but I like making examples with small amounts. So let's just say you're getting paid 100 rand. You need to budget. How am I going to use the 10 rand? How am I going to use this 30 rand? You need to do that. And then you need to implement it, because you can write it down, but now you need to take what you've written and put it into action. All right. So the mistake that I've made, that I would like to share with you, and I hope that some of you avoid it as well, is the thing you could say, okay, the salary comes in, like you see, you know that part of the salary is not, it's not the same, man. It wakes you up, and then yeah. So the mistake that I used to make is that when my salary comes in, the first thing that I'll do, this is not a mistake, what I'm saying now is not a mistake, I'll tell you the mistake. So the first thing that I do personally, I pay tithe. Before I do anything else, I prefer to pay tithe, because I believe that tithe needs to come out first. It's a form of saying to God, thank you for blessing me, with a job, with, I'm not rich, like I'm not rich, God, but thank you so much that I have a source of income. I am grateful. And also I am obeying God, because that's a commandment that's written in the word. And also I believe that when I'm faithful with the little, God is gonna trust me with so much more, you know. And yeah, so I pay my tithe. That's a good thing. I've been doing that for years now. I prefer to do it that way personally. So what I would do after paying tithe is I'll keep the money in my account, you know, spend it there and there, but I wouldn't pay the important things. I'll pay it because I like seeing money. Like, I love seeing money in my account. I know that 300 rand needs to go to the gym. I know this needs to go home. I know that my brother asked me for this and all of those things. So instead of doing the important things first, I'll just keep the money. And trust me, it's so easy to spend. It's so easy to spend money because now Mr. D will send you a message to say you have your voucher. If you spend 100 rand, they're gonna take off 20 rand. You're like, man, 80 rand is not a lot. Until you go to your account, you check, you're like, what? And then now certain things are not paid for. So my advice is pay off things as soon as possible. When it comes in, take your budget. Or I need to send 1 rand at home, send it. I need to pay this and this and this. I need to buy electricity. Do it, you know. And obviously there are debit orders. Those ones they don't skip their days, they will take their money. And I think I must include savings here. So you need to save and have a goal for anything, for savings. Don't just save for the sake of saving. Save for something specific so that it becomes your why. Why am I saving? So saving and budgeting goes like this, yeah? Like this. So let's just say you've written on your budget, okay, I'm gonna save 10 rand. Send the 10 rand to your account, to your savings account that time. Do not wait to spend your money like, oh, what am I left with? Oh, I'm left with 2 rand. Oh, let me save 2 rand. You budget your savings as well. You need to include it there as a compulsory expenditure so that you can be disciplined, so that you can be able to achieve whatever goal that you are saving for. All right, that's very important. And another thing that I've implemented in my life is I pay myself. Now I pay myself. So what happens is, okay, I get my salary, I pay my tithe, I do what I need to do, but also on my budget there is allowance for myself. Like, Noxie, you deserve this 10 rand because you work very, very hard. What I've noticed with this habit is that I get to enjoy my job because I'm like, I work here, I love what I do, yes, but also it allows me to spoil myself. Because the problem with people is that they don't budget that amount for spoiling themselves, but they get to spoil, they end up spoiling themselves, but with guilt. Because now you're like, you know, you only live once. You know what, I work very hard. But if you have budgeted that amount, you'll know, oh, I have an allowance of 10 rand from my salary, so I'm gonna spend it in whatever way that I want because it's mine. And some feel like, oh, Noxie, but now what if I lose? You know, what if I forget how much I've spent on myself and stuff like that? You can literally have another account. Take that 5 rand of yours that you want to spoil it, put it in that account. That's your personal account, to say, if this card doesn't have money, it means I don't have money for anything. That's what I did. It works for me, and I hope it works for somebody else. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm speaking from personal experience. All right, I've spoken about that. And oh yes, that's another sources of income. If you can, I think we all can. Just that we can do it in different ways. Please get a second source of income. Trust me, it comes in handy. Those who know me personally, they know that I've been selling stuff since because I've been selling stuff. I've sold Intokazie, I've sold clothes, and now I'm still selling certain things, you know, because I believe in not having one source of income at the end of the day, because standard of living is very, very hard. And personally, um I'm I'm I have things to do. I have things to do, and I know that I got rid of my account and my credits, but I'm still paying for my degree. Oh, no, but you said you had a bursary. Let me explain. I failed the module. And if you fail a module, my bursary, it doesn't pay. So you have to pay it yourself. I think I'll do a video. No, I can mention it now. So I failed the module, and then I had to pay it. I have to pay it because I haven't paid it. So after I found out that no, I owe tax this amount, it's a lot of money. It's not a lot, but it's a lot, you know, because it's a module and registration. Because I had to do the whole module, and I cannot do you cannot study without registration. So I procrastinated like to pay for that module. So I was like, you know what, I have my academic record, so when I apply for jobs, they will see, which is true, you know, which is true. They see then if they want to request, maybe they can, I don't know. But I want to have my degree. Like I want to have my degree, and I'm planning to make sure that I get it as soon as I can, be it 2 years, be it 3 years, but I'm planning to make sure that it is paid off, you know. So a mistake that I made is knowing very well that I owe tax. Instead of starting to pay it off, I procrastinated. Do not procrastinate in paying debt. You better pay 100 rand instead of not paying it all, especially with your degree and whatever. Please pay it as soon as you can. So last one, so I'm gonna write just the keywords on the comments as well, so that, because I know Usman Kuluma, like when I speak, I touch on this and touch on that, I touch on this and I touch on that, but I'm just gonna write the lessons. I'm not gonna explain them because I'm explaining now on this video, just to say these are the 10 lessons that I've learned that we do not teach during tithe talk. All right, so the last one is no is not a bad word. No, I cannot make it chumi. No, I cannot buy that. No, ama or baba, I cannot help with that amount. I can only help with this one. No is not a bad word. And please learn it, say it. Sometimes you'll have to say it without an explanation. Sometimes you'll say it with an explanation. But learn to say no. Because you find yourself in situations, especially if you're like me. I have a lot of friends. Like I have a lot of friends, and my friends, I want to see my friends, and I cannot say, oh, come, let's see each other and just look at each other's eyes. We can go for coffee and stuff like that. And they're like, but no, coffee is not a lot. Imagine if I see one friend every single month have coffee for 30 rand to 40 rand, how much that is gonna be per year. Understand? So some days I do say no, I cannot meet you, you know, or I don't even try to squeeze in a person because I know my budget doesn't allow. So make it your habit to say no, especially if you cannot afford certain things, be it a party with a friend, be it a baby shower, be it some other things, because you find yourself in so much financial frustration because you cannot say no. And true friends will understand, you know. I'm not saying say it with attitude. No, friend, sorry, I cannot make it to a baby shower because of financial reasons. If you don't want to say it, don't say it. Or friend, I cannot make it this month. I cannot make it to your baby shower, but I'll buy gifts for the child. You see, you're like, oh, instead of me going with you to a restaurant and or contributing me 250, I'd rather take contributing 250 and then a gift that will cost me 500 rand, and then a dress because there's a theme. Then I spend almost 1,000 rands on this baby shower. Let me just get a gift for your child and I'm gonna give it to you. You have cut down things, so you need to be very smart. Oh yes, I must mention this. Don't be scared, guys. Need to have those cards for Ama points, those smart shopper, extra save. Don't be scared of having those. I use those ones so much, and you get discounts. And sometimes, oh, I know at Pick and Pay they will like, oh, you have 100 rand, so you go to Pick and Pay. Obviously you buy what you need, not what you want. You buy what you need, and then it clicks. They will like, oh, you have 80 rand and do you want to redeem it? You look at the things that you're buying. These are very important things. Yes, I'd like to redeem it, and you have saved what? 80 rand. All right. So I think there are a lot of lessons that we are not taught during Tithe Talk. But these are the few that I like to mention to you, and from personal experience, because I've made mistakes, I've learned as well, and I hope that it helps somebody else. And please share my video, especially to the young ones, you know, because I really hope people don't make the same mistakes that I've made, because it is frustrating a lot when you're in debt. It is heavy. The thing of avoiding calls and all of those things, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all, because imagine you're gonna even lose an amazing opportunity to study or to work because you are avoiding 012, 013, or 011 or 087. You are just avoiding calls. So just work on your finances. Yeah, get your money in order. We usually say if you do not lead your money will lead you. Yeah, it's a training. Yeah, imagine leaders training. So if you do not lead your money will lead you, because in life is money leads, people lead. So it's either this one is leading this one, but make sure that money, you are leading your money. You are telling your money, this is where you are going, this is where you are going, this is where you are going. All right. So from me to you, thank you very much. I know this was more of an informative video. It was not anything else, but I believe that it is needed. Money is very important. Financial literacy is one of the most important things that we still need to work on. But I hope that my story that I shared, it inspired someone to do better, to work on their debt, or not to get themselves in debt. All right. So from me to you, thank you so much. Remember to comment, to like, to subscribe. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And lastly, please remember to follow me on Instagram and also on Facebook and interact with my content. Goodbye. I love you.